What if your phone isn't actually new? Not fake, not broken, just not what you think it is. Because somewhere inside the modern smartphone industry, millions of devices are quietly being rebuilt, repackaged, and sold all over again. And most people never notice. Modern technology has become incredibly good at looking perfect, especially smartphones. You walk into a store, you see the box, clean packaging, factory seals, smooth glass, perfect screen. Everything feels untouched. And naturally, people assume the story begins with them. But in today's world, that assumption is becoming harder to trust. Most people imagine old phones simply disappear, but they don't. Modern phones almost never truly disappear anymore. They move from one owner to another, from one country to another, from trade-in programs to carrier warehouses to insurance facilities to massive refurbishment centers. And inside those systems, phones begin living entirely new lives. Some phones arrive with cracked screens, others have damaged batteries. Some were returned after only a few days. Others may have already been used for years. But once these devices enter the refurbishment ecosystem, everything starts changing. Screens get replaced, batteries get swapped, housings get polished, components get transferred, entire devices get reconstructed piece by piece. And this is where things become uncomfortable. Because once enough parts have been replaced, what exactly still makes a phone new? The strange thing is, most refurbished devices work perfectly fine. Some are repaired professionally, some are restored extremely well, and honestly, many people would never notice the difference. But that's exactly what makes this industry so psychologically strange. Because the closer reconstructed devices get to looking factory new, the harder it becomes to know what's actually original anymore. And most people never ask questions because everything looks normal. The phone turns on. The screen looks perfect. The battery feels healthy. The box looks untouched. So naturally, people trust what they see. But the deeper this industry goes, the stranger it becomes. Because rebuilding phones is only the beginning. The scary part about modern phones isn't fake devices anymore. It's devices that look completely real. Around the world, phones are being reconstructed at industrial scale. Inside massive warehouses, thousands of devices move through assembly lines every single day. Screens are replaced in minutes. Batteries are swapped almost instantly. Polishing machines remove years of visible wear. Damaged housings are replaced with clean new shells, and once everything is reassembled, many of these devices become almost impossible to distinguish from completely new products. That's where the line between used and new starts becoming psychologically blurry, because some phones no longer belong to a single identity. A screen from one device, a battery from another, a housing from somewhere else entirely. Components transferred between multiple phones until the final product becomes something entirely reconstructed. And yet, to the customer, it still looks untouched. That's the real problem. Not that phones are being rebuilt, but that modern reconstruction has become so advanced, almost nobody can tell anymore. And once people begin realizing how large this industry actually is, they start asking dangerous questions. How many phones online are truly untouched? How many devices have already lived multiple lives? How many products are technically new, but not entirely original anymore? The internet has slowly started noticing this too. People began posting strange battery warnings, unknown part messages, serial number mismatches, devices that showed activation dates earlier than expected. Repair technicians started exposing how common reconstruction had become. And suddenly, the idea of owning a completely new phone didn't feel as certain anymore. That's the strange thing about modern technology. The closer something looks to perfect, the harder it becomes to verify what's actually real. Because modern products no longer live one life. Sometimes they come back again and again. Okay, so how do you actually prove a phone is new? Because once you start checking, things get uncomfortable very quickly. Some people checked their battery settings, others searched their serial numbers online. Some discovered replacement warnings hidden inside their settings. Others realized certain components may have already been replaced before they even bought the device. And suddenly, normal people started doing something they never used to do: questioning their own phones, looking closer at tiny details, checking activation dates, comparing packaging, watching repair videos late at night, trying to figure out whether the device in their pocket was truly untouched or simply restored well enough to look untouched. And the strange part is, your phone might actually be perfectly fine. It may work flawlessly. It may last for years. But once you realize how massive this hidden system really is, you stop looking at modern products the same way again. Because now there's always a small voice in the back of your mind asking the same question: is it really new, or does it simply look new enough?